Ladies and gentlemen, football fans everywhere, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the world of the New York Giants, where the drama never stops and the passion runs as deep as the Hudson River. You know, there's something electric about Sunday Night Football, especially when it's a home opener at MetLife Stadium. Picture this. The lights blazing, the crowd roaring like a sea of blue, and two winless teams clashing in a primetime showdown that could turn the tide for either side. But for Big Blue, this isn't just another game. It's a chance to ignite the season. With Dexter Lawrence, too, leading the charge on defense. The Giants are gearing up for a battle against the Kansas City Chiefs. And folks, Lawrence himself says there's nothing better than snagging that first win at home. Let's break it all down, shall we? First off, let's set the stage with what's been going down so far this young 2025 NFL season. The Giants are sitting at 0-2. Yeah, that's right. No wins yet. But don't write them off just because they're in the same boat as 9 other teams scratching their heads after week 2. Their latest heartbreaker? A wild 40-37 shootout loss to those pesky Dallas Cowboys down in Texas. Now, I know what you're thinking. 37 points scored? That's not the Giants' offense we've seen sputtering in recent years. Buried under that defeat was a real breakout. Daniel Jones slinging the ball with confidence, connecting on deep throws, and the running game showing some spark even without Saquon Barkley, who, as we all remember, bolted to the Eagles in free agency last year. It's like the offense woke up from a long nap, putting up numbers that had fans buzzing despite the L. But defense? That's where the story gets juicy, and that's where Dexter Lawrence comes in. Speaking of Lawrence, this guy's a beast, a 6'4", 340-pound force of nature who's been the anchor of the Giants' defensive line since he was drafted out of Clemson in 2019. Remember his college days? He was part of that national championship team, wreaking havoc in the trenches, and he's brought that same fire to the pros. Last season, he racked up 7.5 sacks, earned a Pro Bowl nod, and was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. But this year, it's been a quieter start for him personally. No sacks through 2 games, which is unusual for a guy who's usually living in quarterback's nightmares. Lawrence isn't making excuses, though. He skipped preseason snaps to stay fresh, and he's owning it. I know I've got to be at my best, and I will be at my best Sunday night, and I'll be ready. That's the kind of vow that gets the blood pumping, right? He's channeling that inner warrior, ready to feast on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense. Now, let's zoom in on this matchup because, oh boy, it's got all the makings of a classic. The Chiefs are also 0-2, stumbling out of the gate with losses to the Chargers in that international opener in Sao Paulo. Talk about a tough way to kick off the season abroad, and then falling to Eagles at Arrowhead in a rematch of Super Bowl 59 from back in February in New Orleans. Kansas City hasn't dropped 3 in a row since 2017. Folks, that's ancient history in NFL terms. But even shorthanded, there are no pushovers. You got Mahomes, the magician under center, slinging no-look passes like it's nothing. Then there's Travis Kelce, the tight end who's basically a walking mismatched nightmare, especially with his chemistry with Mahomes. It's like they share a brain. Add in running backs like Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco pounding the ground, wideouts Marquise Brown, and Tyquan Thornton stretching the field. And yeah, this is a hefty challenge to the Giants' D. But here's where it gets interesting. Lawrence and the boys aren't intimidated. In fact, he's relishing it. You've got to know what your next opportunity is, and our next opportunity is Sunday night at home, he said. The goal is to win our first game of the season at home. Nothing would be better. And with apologies to country star Carrie Underwood, who's got that famous Sunday Night Football anthem, Lawrence is waiting all week for this spotlight. The Giants' defense has been aggressive, tallying 6 sacks through 2 games. That's 4th most in the league, not too shabby. But they're lagging in hurry rate and pressure percentage, sitting at a lowly 13.7%, 5th worst in the NFL. Penalties are killing them, too, 160 yards worth in that Cowboys game alone. Lawrence calls it straight. Penalties, too many penalties, that's it. Some came from that aggression, which he insists they won't dial back. You don't shy away from being aggressive. You don't shy away from playing the type of brand of football you want to play, he emphasized. It's all about playing smart, not reckless. Measure ferocity, if you will. Let's pause for a second and talk tactics. because this is where the chess match really unfolds. The Giants, under head coach Brian Daboll, who, by the way, turned heads with his offensive wizardry when he arrived in 2022, leading them to a playoff berth that year, are trying to balance a high-octane attack with a stout front seven. On defense, coordinator Shane Bowen is preaching discipline. Think about it. If Lawrence and edge rushers like Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns can generate consistent pressure without drawing flags, they could disrupt Mahomes' rhythm. Thibodeau, the 2022 first-rounder out of Oregon, has already notched a couple sacks this season, building on his rookie promise. Burns, acquired in that blockbuster trade last offseason, brings that Carolina speed to the edge. Together, they form a trio that could be elite, but self-inflicted errors? Those are the real enemy. As Lawrence put it, penalties may happen, they may not happen. It all depends on what someone sees and what they feel. You just got to keep playing your game. To put this in perspective, let's dip into some historical context because the Giants story is rich with triumphs and heartaches. Founded in 1925, they're one of the NFL's original franchises, sharing New York with the Jets, but owning that Big Apple swagger. They got 4 Super Bowl rings, XLI and XOVI with Eli Manning at the helm, those miraculous upsets over the undefeated Patriots in 2007, and then again in 2011. Who can forget David Tyree's helmet catch or Mario Manningham's sideline grab? Those moments are etched in NFL lore. And the rivalries? Oh man, the NFC East is a bloodbath. The Cowboys, America's team they call themselves, have been thorns in the Giants' side forever, with epic clashes dating back decades. Then there's the Eagles, who snatched Barkley away, adding fuel to that Philly-New York feud. Remember the 2022 playoffs when the Eagles crushed the Giants 38-7? Ouch! But revenge is always on the menu in this division. Statistically, compare the start to past seasons. In 2023, the Giants went 6-11, plagued by injuries and inconsistency. Jones missed time with a neck issue, and the offense averaged just 15.6 points per game, dead last. But 2024 showed glimmers. They improved 8-9, with the defense stepping up, allowing 22.5 points per game, better than the league average. Now, in 2025, that 37-point outburst against Dallas suggests the offense, bolstered by new wideout Malik Neighbors. The speedy rookie from LSU, who's already turning heads with route running, could be a force. Defensively, those 6 sacks are on pace for 51 over 17 games, which would shatter their franchise record of 47 from 1985. But the pressure percentage? It's got to climb if they want to contain elites like Mahomes. I caught up with a fictional expert. Let's call him Mike Lombardi, a longtime NFL analyst with roots in the league's front offices. In my imaginary chat, he said, "Look, the Giants have the pieces, but it's about execution. Lawrence is the heart of that D-line. If he dominates, they can flip the script. Chiefs are vulnerable right now. Mahomes is magic, but without a full arsenal, Big Blue has a shot." Spot on, Mike. And let's not forget the fan's perspective. Imagine a die-hard Giant supporter, say, Tony from Brooklyn. We've been through the Eli era highs and the post-Eli lows, but Sunday night, that's our time. MetLife will be rocking. Let's get that W. Fictional, sure, but it captures the spirit of the Big Blue faithful, who packed that stadium rain or shine, waving those terrible towels. Wait, no, that's Steelers. For Giants, it's the sea of blue jerseys and the chants echoing through East Rutherford. Now, peering into the crystal ball, what does this game mean for season? A win here could be a momentum builder, propelling the Giants toward wild-card contention in the loaded NFC. Lose, and the 0-3 hole gets deeper, putting pressure on Daboll and GM Joe Schoen. For Lawrence, a big night, say a couple sacks and some run stuffs, could kickstart his all-pro campaign. Looking ahead, the schedule's brutal. Divisional games against the Eagles and Cowboys loom, where rivalries intensify. If the Giants clean up penalties and the offense keeps clicking, playoffs aren't a pipe dream. Remember 2011? They started 6-2, faltered to 7-7, then stormed to the Super Bowl. History shows turnarounds happen. But tying this to broader vibes, think about how NFL primetime intersects with pop culture. Sunday Night Football on NBC, with Carrie Underwood belting out, "I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. It's more than a game. It's an event." Mahomes commercials. Kelsey's podcast fame with his brother Jason. It's all part of the spectacle. For Giants fans, it's a nod to New York sports legacy, from a Yankees pinstripes to the Knicks hardwood battles. And in 2025, with the league expanding internationally, games like that Sao Paulo opener remind us football's going global, but nothing beats a home opener under the lights. Wrapping this up, folks, the stage is set for an epic clash. Will Dexter Lawrence and the Giants defense rise up and deliver that sweet home victory? Or will Mahomes work his wizardry and send Big Blue to 0-3? One thing's for sure, you don't want to miss this. Tune in Sunday night, 8:20 Eastern Time on NBC. Grab your snacks, rally with fellow fans, and let's see if the Giants can turn the page. Go Big Blue. Keep the faith, because in the NFL, anything's possible. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned for more Giants updates.